Alright guys, today I am working on a bunch of things. So this video is going to be a little bit random. I'm going to be working on the G37, the Miata, and possibly the Honda Odyssey all at the same time. So I'm just going to film as I go around and fix all the little problems. These were out on the G37, and when you illuminate them, they should say infinity. Let's go ahead and install that and see how that looks. Alright, so I picked this product up in Amazon, and let's see what it comes with. It comes with this little tool to be able to pry the light fixture open or to remove it. And it comes with these. We're going to pop these in and see if we could get them to work. So you can see they're working. It's pretty nice. Gives it like a nice little feature here. These were out, of course, so I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in. So it sits just like that. We'll check them out at night. I don't know if you could see it, faintly see it. It's during the day. We'll check them out at night and see how they look. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. That's coming from the door. That's pretty sweet. These are working as well. Very nice. Alright, so that was something I was wanting to do for a while. I actually had those parts laying there inside the shop for a little bit. I just hadn't had a chance to install them, so I'm happy it was quick and easy and painless. Now we can move on to the next thing. For my next trick, I'm going to be pulling some stuff out of this bag. These little guys go underneath the pedal here. I order a couple of these for the Z, the G, and these are basically stoppers. These little things activate the clutch switch, the brake switch, and I believe this guy goes in the back of the clutch pedal so it doesn't travel any longer. I got all of this from Z1. These are polyurethane, and the reason why I'm doing this is because they break. And right now I'm going to show you how I am activating the switches. It's through bolts and plastic clips and all sorts of things. So this is a proper fix right here. Of course, I could have 3D printed this, but taking the time to measure all this up and then having it printed in the 3D printer, it was just a waste of time for me. So this is something else I need to do for the G35. I got this for the G37 and the 370Z. So the G35, I have to order all these. I didn't, but I figured do the both of these cars and see how it works out. And let me show you how I have activated everything, how everything is working under here. So right now I have the brake switch rigged up with that bolt, and yeah, it's doing its job, but I want to replace it with the right thing. And you can see when I press down, the switch moves, and it's a momentary switch. This is for my clutch right here, and look how I'm activating the clutch switch with a plastic clip. You know, these are, you use this for all your trim and stuff. So of course you can see why I did this. And back here, I don't know if you could see, let's go in through this side. I don't know if you could see it, but back there, okay, this is the stopper I was talking about. That's this guy, so that's going to get replaced as well. So let's go ahead and do all this and then show you how it looks. Okay, so I have all of them installed in here, but now I have ran into the following situation. Now, since I was using that bolt right here when it came to the brake pedal, I have to adjust the brake pedal because I had adjusted it because the bolt was sitting up right here. Now I'm going to have to adjust it back up. So I got to take up this slack that I have right here. Okay, so now it's time to move into the interior. So here's what I'm going to be doing next. Right here, there's a cavity, there's a hole. So I've been wanting to do this for a little bit now. I want to 3D print, design something here to cover this. I think I'm going to put here a cell phone holder, so you can slide your cell phone right in here. You'll just slide the phone holder here. It'll keep it in place, and you just plug this guy in. So let's go ahead and take some measurements. I have my caliper here, and I'm gonna measure some dimensions here so I have a good idea of what I'm working with. Alrighty, so I have a design here. It is a very basic design. Nothing special. It's just a lid with a phone holder on here. I just made all of it here on Tinkercad. I am not a professional when it comes to designing. I kind of just make things work. And basically the cell phone's going to slide in there. The port charger goes right here. And underneath here I made a cavity because I want to make sure that the mechanism for the brake, the e-brake, can move up and down without any interference. And of course there's a border and a lip. So here we are. I have it loaded up on my slicer. And basically if you guys are not in the world of 3D printing, basically what this does is once you design the file, it lets you import it in here and it breaks it up into instructions so the 3D printer knows what to do. So I get to pick different settings here. I'm going to just go with normal. Okay, I do have it set to ABS. I'm going to be printing this in ABS. Okay, so apparently this has a lot of support here. I didn't know I had enabled those settings, but so far it's showing 42 hours of print time. Okay, so I'm printing and this is going to take a bazillion years, so I'm going to go ahead and start working on something else. So we are here with the Miata project, and you can see I have the oil cooler mounted. It's not bolted in all the way, but I made that bracket there. But I am working on the piping, trying to get it to fit right. And you can see I have a mark here, and there's another mark on that one. We're going to go ahead and cut this and roll a bead on this. So I have installed all the piping. Everything has been plumbed in. But now I actually have to take a section apart. I have to take this part off of here because I have to install this guy. Blow-off valve. Very, very special piece. Everyone loves the sound of the blow-off valve. So I'm not only working on the Miata, I'm also working on the G37. And the G37 has a little problem here. So right here, this is a notorious leaking spot for the G37. So there's a vent port or vent shroud that sits right here, and there's a cover. Well, when the cover, the seal goes old, it gets old, the water just leaks right down here and it goes right into the cabin air filter. And I have this taped up because it's raining right now. And behind all of this, if I could remove the tape, behind all of this you can see there's the cabin air filter. So we're gonna fix that. I'm about to fix this right now, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm gonna be making. So this is the piece I was talking about, just mentioned just a couple seconds ago. The water comes off of the windshield and it drips right into here. It's a very, very dumb, stupid design. So what I have done is I've gone to Tinkercad and I designed a roof, pretty much. So I'm going to 3D print this, and it's going to sit right over this area right here, and it's going to keep all that water from seeping in. So you might be asking, well, how is it going to be able to suck in the air? Well, since I have designed a lip like a roof, I am going to drill in the front of here. I'm going to drill some holes, and that should be enough to suck in the outside air into the cabin, or so the cabin air filter can suck up air. So if this works, start looking for this part in my website. So here's a little update on the phone holder. Yeah, this is the part that I was showing you that I made that sits in the center console, and it's not going too well. I'm printing it with ABS, and of course this isn't it is not a controlled environment. This is open and you should have this closed off. Not only that, it's really cold today here in Florida, and the print is starting to warp and pull itself off of the bed. So I'm having problems printing this guy. Will it print out? I don't know. I just want to see something. I want to see it get printed just to test it and make sure it's going to work. But you can see there's a part that already fell off. This is one of the support plates. That didn't work, so more than likely I'll end up stopping this. So I'm having a little bit of problems with ABS right now, but that's to be expected. I'll probably move this whole machine. I'll probably just move it inside and put it in a closet or something in the little room, so the environment could be more controlled, so it could have more heat, and this stuff does not happen. And I mean, yeah, not cool. You can see down here, I'm printing these hooks, and I print, I mean, a bazillion of them a year. I'm printing these hooks on PLA, and it's not having a problem whatsoever, but ABS behaves very differently, so that's why I'm having a problem. But there's more. I'm working on another project at the same time. I'm working on the Miata, the G37, and the Honda Odyssey. Let me show you what I got going on with that. It's driving me nuts. Okay, so I'm currently in the trunk of the Honda Odyssey. This is the trunk lid, and I have all the panels, everything exposed here. I have the panel pulled off, and that's because the alarm keeps going off. With the scan tool, I am able to see where was the alarm triggered, and it keeps getting triggered by the rear door latch. So I'm just sitting in the back right now. So randomly, this alarm just goes off now all of a sudden. You could spend $300, $400, and that's how much one of these latches is. It's $300 for one of these, and not even fix a problem. So I like to pinpoint things and be like 90% sure or 100% sure that that's what it is, and take an educated guess. Sometimes you have to take a guess in some of these situations, because you can't get things to get triggered and act up when you want it to, but you have to fix it. So yeah, this is driving me nuts. I've been at this on and off probably a day now, and right now I'm gonna try to simulate what's going on. I'm guessing this is what's going on. I have the door open back here, and I'm gonna plug this in. I'm gonna see if I could get the alarm to trigger. There's something going on. Something's wrong. Something's saying, hey, someone's trying to get in, someone's breaking into the vehicle, but there's no one there. But here we go. I'm gonna plug this guy in. We're gonna see. Yep, there it goes. The alarm's going off. Okay, so I brought this over to the oil cooler to show you exactly what I'm doing. So this piece will sit here, and it's going to be attached to the oil cooler, and then this piece is for the fan, and the fan sits like that. Since this sits right over the fan and it has this little cavity right here, it is able to suck all the air right into this section, and this piece will be the size of the radiator. So that piece will attach to the oil cooler, and it's going to be able to optimize the amount of airflow. So basically now I'm just going to attach this together with some tape, and this is just a mold, so it really doesn't matter, and I'm going to fiberglass it. Okay, so I taped it up, and this is what it looks like, and that sits right over the cooler. This is the part that I was saying that sits right over the cooler, and then the fan sits right on top of that. So it'll be something like that. So if you want to see more of this build, I'm currently building it in the channel. So if you're interested in the Miata project, definitely subscribe. You don't want to miss any of it. And as you can tell by now, there's always something different that I'm working on. I'm not working on the same vehicle all the time. I'm working on different projects, and you're gonna see different stuff come through the channel. So definitely check me out, subscribe, so you won't miss any of the new stuff that I post. All right, so now I get to discuss with you guys what's happening with the van, and it just did it. Out of the blue, the horn started going off, and the alarm system said, hey, there's somebody trying to steal your vehicle. I don't think anyone will try to steal this shit box, but again, it's activating and there's something activating it. So I decided to grab the All-Tail to see if it could see a little bit more, see something different than the Snap-on scan tool. And I have the Snap-on right here, and I have the All-Tail right in front of me, and it has picked up something different. So you can see right here, this is the history of the things that have activated the security system. When I showed you guys earlier with the video that I pulled the plug back there, the tailgate was detected and I made the alarm go off. But if you look down here, it says security hood switch. That makes a lot of sense. I've seen a lot of videos and I've seen a lot of forums that they talk about it's a hood latch that goes out first. For some reason, this guy did not want to pick this up. I'll show you right now in just a second how exactly it looks like so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. So right now I'm hooked up with the Snap-on and I'm going to security, and I just want to go to functional test. And I'm really not testing anything. I'm looking at the history, okay? So right here you could do a command that you could command the horn to make sure it works. You could look at the history, or you could clear the history. We're going to look at the history. And what this is telling me, it's basically, it's gonna tell me the last 3 triggers. The last one is, the latest is the trunk lid. That's not what the All-Tail is saying. So this is very interesting information. It's not saying the Snap-on is not saying anything about the hood latch, even though everyone says that usually that's the one that goes bad because it's exposed to all the elements. But the All-Tail is saying, hey, check the hood latch because it was detected, and it doesn't let me see anything else. It only says these 3 events has happened. So kind of interesting, kind of weird. It's almost like this guy's sending me out in the loop and it doesn't really know what the heck's going on. So right now I have to decide whether I'm going to continue to do some tests, and obviously I am, and I think I'm going to ignore what the Snap-on is saying and start leaning to figure this out with the All-Tail and see if I could pinpoint exactly what's going on. I am going to conduct a little bit of testing, and whatever I figure out, I'll let you guys know. What I have decided to do is just clear the history. I'm going to clear the history. It's going to wipe away everything that has triggered the alarm right now. So it's basically going to erase all of that information. And now when I go into history data, it says that there is none. So we're going to start fresh. We're going to concentrate with the All-Tail, and we're going to see if we can figure this out. I think since the Snap-on is so confused, for whatever reason, maybe it's not able to read certain codes, certain languages or something. I have no idea. This system connects to the multiplex unit. It is another module or whatever that controls everything inside here, climate control, everything. That could be going bad. That is a possibility. But I'm not having any problems with any of the other components. I'm not having problems with the lights inside the vehicle. I'm not having problems with the climate control. And that multiplex unit, kind of everything plugs into that. So I don't think it's that. I'm going to open up the hood, and I think I'm going to just disconnect the sensor and see what happens. See if we get a trigger, or if it goes away. Remember I said I disconnected the one in the tailgate and it was still going off. So if Snappy led me in the wrong direction, that makes a lot of sense. That if I disconnected the rear sensor in the back for the tailgate, the alarm would still go off, because it's not the one in the rear, it's the one in the hood. So I'm going to go for that and let you know what happens. Okay, so I have it unplugged, and since this is a open circuit, it might trigger the alarm by doing this. I don't know. For some reason, this guy could see that and that guy can't. So put on sunglasses, Snap-on. Okay, I'm gonna lock it. I don't even know if the alarm system's gonna work now. Nope, it doesn't work right now. So it is detecting that is no longer working. so it doesn't even let me activate the alarm. The lid for the cabin air is done. Let me try to pull this off of here. The phone holder is still printing. We're still, I think it's gonna take, I don't know, it's only 4%. We have another 38 hours to go, I think. All right, so here is the little roof, the lid that I was talking about. At first glance, it looks like it's a success, but it really isn't. So let me explain. It looks like I'm gonna have to go a little bit wider. This is just a raft that you print on, and right here, this is the roof that I printed. So it needs to be wider. I'll probably take the specs from this whole print right now. I'll just take the dimensions that I have here, and that's what I'll make it. That's the size, but that's how it's supposed to sit, and it's supposed to keep the water from dripping inside the cabin air. I'll probably install it like this for right now, and then once it's printed, since it's raining outside, once it's printed, I'll just swap it out. So if you want to see how that turns out, definitely tune in. Okay, so here we have the phone holder. This is what I've been printing, and it looks like a hot mess right now. I have to remove all of this support junk and make it look like something good. We'll see how it turns out. So that's pretty much all the time I have for today. I just wanted to show you and give you a sneak peek of everything I'm working on, all the projects. I'm working on the van, I'm working on the G37, and I'm working on the Miata all at the same time. And I'm gonna be making specific videos for all of that. So when I upload a video for the minivan, you're gonna see that I'll probably have a solution to the problem I have. For the G37, I'll probably give you an update of everything else I have done to it, and the Miata as well. So tune in for that.